Menglong's humiliation, torture, then death. Filmed and sold for 100,000 USD on the dark web? According to the latest report by commentator Li Muyang, Song Yiren, one of the main suspects in Menglong's mysterious death, is alleged to have filmed the entire process of Yu being humiliated and tortured to death, then uploaded the footage to the dark web, where each view reportedly cost 100,000 USD. Another insider claimed that a Chinese national living in California had paid $100,000 to purchase and view that horrifying video on the dark web. Soon after, a short clip surfaced online, said to have been re-recorded from the original dark web footage, allegedly showing the moments of Yu's abuse and murder. However, we cannot verify whether the footage is genuine or fabricated. Today, new evidence has emerged, additional details that expand on the autopsy report we discussed in yesterday's video. The descriptions are extremely graphic, so due to YouTube's censorship, we cannot show the full document. Here are the key new findings from the report. The body was covered with numerous needle marks. The anal sphincter was damaged, with a fresh wound about 5 centimeters long. The external parts of the lower body were missing. On the inner wall of the upper abdomen, there was a stab wound measuring 16.5 by 7 centimeters. If this autopsy report is indeed authentic, it aligns disturbingly well with the rumors that have circulated in recent days. First, the needle marks across the body, supporting claims that Yu was injected with drugs before his death. Second, the damaged anal sphincter, consistent with rumors that Yu was humiliated before he died. Third, the stab wound inside the abdomen, matching speculation that Yu had swallowed a USB drive which was later removed surgically. Fourth, the external parts of the lower body were missing and still unaccounted for, raising questions about whether this could be linked to the alleged evil ritual that many have mentioned. Connecting all these pieces of information, it's beyond imagination what kind of horrific torture Menglong suffered before his death. It was inhuman. As I've said in previous episodes, this was no longer the work of human beings, it was the work of demons. Across China and overseas, people are fighting tirelessly to seek justice for Menglong. But the resistance they face remains overwhelming. On the petition site Ava-Az, the campaign titled Justice for Menglong has already gathered over 242,000 signatures as of this broadcast. We hope that those who haven't yet signed will do so, because reports suggest that once the count surpasses 500,000, international human rights organizations may finally step in. I've also attached the link below in this video's description for those who want to take action. Menglong's mentor suddenly hospitalized. Now, let's turn to Menglong's Taiwanese mentor, Sun Durong. He has been relentlessly organizing memorial and soul-calming ceremonies in his quest for truth and justice, determined to clear Yu's name. But on October 6th, Sun suddenly fell seriously ill and was rushed to the hospital, sparking widespread public concern. That afternoon, he posted the following message on Facebook. Starting last night, October 5, whatever I eat, I vomit. Even drinking water comes out of my nose. I feel terrible all over. At noon, my disciple Weiqi came home, didn't say a word, and rushed me to the Tri-Service General Hospital emergency room. The post immediately drew a lot of messages from worried followers urging him to rest and recover, so he could continue fighting for justice. Sun later wrote that he didn't believe anyone was trying to harm him, but felt that perhaps Menglong was trying to communicate with him. He explained, "When the body is weak, the spirit becomes more receptive to messages. I hope it's really you, my student, reaching out from beyond." According to NTD TV, Sun Durong is set to hold the soul-calming ceremony for Menglong on October 17th at the New Moon Hall in Bangqiao District, New Taipei City. He also agreed to appear on the YouTube channel 204 Files, where reportedly used EVP, electronic voice phenomenon technology, to communicate with Menglong's spirit to share new insights into the case. Before we move on, I just want to share something real quick. YouTube hasn't been recommending our channel much lately, so if you've made it this far, drop this icon in the comments. It really helps us beat the algorithm. You can also find it in the description below if you want to copy it easily. Together, we can get past the censorship and let more people see the truth. Thanks so much for watching. Now, let's get back to the video. Menglong case sparks a Chinese-style online uprising. On October 6th, the Mid-Autumn Festival in China, the night sky over Chongqing came alive with light. Drones painted the heavens with a massive shimmering image of a koi fish, its colors dancing across the darkness. And then, something extraordinary happened. The crowd below erupted in tears and chants of "Yu Menglong, Yu Menglong." The scene was breathtaking, raw, and filled with emotion. Across social media, people wrote, "May you, in heaven, feel our love and remembrance." In Chinese culture, there's a saying, "The carp leaps over the dragon gate," symbolizing perseverance and transformation. Fans lovingly called Yu the Koi Boy. Throughout his career, he endured countless instances of unfair treatment and deliberate suppression. Yet he never gave up. He kept swimming upstream, shining through hardship as if blessed by divine fortune. According to the People's Paper, that same night, the internet pulsed with emotion. After 1 a.m., Douyin was flooded with discussions about Yu Menglong, as people across the country shared memories and grief. Despite the public outcry, Chinese authorities have refused to open a case or conduct any investigation. Instead, they've launched an unprecedented crackdown on speech, fining platforms, silencing journalists, detaining citizens, and erasing posts. Yet even under heavy censorship, Chinese netizens refused to be silenced. They flooded the internet with Yu's name, defying fear to demand justice. The anger spilled into unexpected places. During a travel agency's live stream promoting Beijing tours, viewers suddenly turned the chat into a storm of protest. "I don't dare go. I might end up dead at 37 too." The purest soul in the entertainment industry fell in your Beijing. Or, how do people in Beijing even dare go downstairs now? It wasn't about tourism, it was about rage and grief, directed at a system people felt had failed them. Meanwhile, the CCP's anti-crime hotlines 12337 and 12339 were flooded with calls, as citizens demanded real answers. One young woman even called the police live on stream, calmly questioning their handling of the case. As a citizen, I have two questions. First, did the Chaoyang Public Security Bureau actually complete a legal investigation, or are they covering something up? Second, why was Yu Menglong's case announced not by the police but by his already cancelled studio and a paparazzo? Do they even have that authority? According to law, only the police can disclose such information. So did the police grant them power? Are there hidden interests between them? Did the police leak the case? Her poised and logical tone struck a chord nationwide. Netizens hailed her as brilliant and fearless, while the Chaoyang District Police quickly became the center of national outrage. The Yu Menglong tragedy has since shaken China to its core. His death not only exposed the dark underbelly of the entertainment world, but also laid bare the judicial black holes and human rights abuses under the Chinese Communist regime. With China's economy already sinking deeper into crisis, Yu's case has become a spark of defiance, a symbol of collective rage. Analysts warn that as the fourth plenary session approaches, if Xi Jinping fails to confront this scandal, the old proverb may prove prophetic. Water can carry a boat, but it can also overturn it. The public's fury, long suppressed, could soon rise beyond control. Many now believe Yu's case could mark a turning point in China's legal and human rights history, destined to be cited for years by the global community. But beyond politics and power, one haunting truth continues to echo through the hearts of China's youth. Even if you live with integrity, in this system, you may still be unable to protect yourself. Zhang Yuxia's 5 explosive words ahead of the fourth plenary session. The final segment of the program delves into explosive new revelations surrounding the upcoming fourth plenary session of the Chinese Communist Party, set to take place from October 20th to 23rd. According to multiple insider sources, Xi Jinping is said to be preparing frantically, showing no sign of stepping back or relinquishing power. This relentless determination could intensify the already brutal power struggle raging within the party's highest ranks. On October 6th, political commentator Xiao Shoujia revealed on his YouTube program, information later confirmed by several independent insiders, that Xi Jinping has issued a secret general mobilization order. Unlike an official written directive, this order was delivered privately and verbally, one-on-one, to every member of the Central Committee loyal to Xi. He warned that divisive elements within the party were attempting to undermine unity. He demanded that all Central Committee members explicitly uphold the two establishments and the two safeguards at the upcoming plenary session, a not-so-subtle move to rally his faction and suppress what he described as separatist forces. In our previous episode, we discussed Hu Jintao's 8 remarks, which reportedly left Xi Jinping visibly shaken, pale-faced and humiliated as he left. But today, the story goes even deeper. We'll examine 5 stunning statements made by Zhang Yuxia, vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, and a key figure in the anti-Xi faction. Each of these remarks strikes directly at the heart of the party's internal crisis. According to the Epoch Times, these 5 statements were delivered during a 2-hour closed-door meeting, attended by Hu Jintao, Wen Jiabao, Wang Yang, Hu Chenhua, and Liu Yuan. The meeting took place inside a heavily guarded compound in Beijing's Western Hills, far from the public eye. Its purpose, to discuss Xi Jinping's potential removal from power, and to formulate emergency strategies in case the situation spirals out of control. Below is a summary of Zhang's 5 remarks. First, Zhang declared, if Xi Jinping does not step down completely and cleanly at the 4th plenary session, then the consequences for me, Zhang Yuxia, should be clear to all senior leaders. He emphasized that while the army's loyalty is the foundation of the party, loyalty does not mean blind obedience. If the 4th plenary session fails to follow proper rules, pressure within the military will be immense. You all know the weight I carry. If the situation spirals out of control, the consequences will be beyond imagination. Second, Zhang warned, if Xi Jinping refuses to step down, Wang Yang and Hu Chenhua will face grave personal danger. This is not alarmism. These are signals from inside the military. He then turned directly to them. Chairman Wang, Comrade Chenhua, you are both key party figures, but the situation is critical. Every move you make is being watched. If the 4th plenum doesn't go as planned, your safety will be at risk. Third, Zhang told Hu Jintao, elder leader, internal struggles have always existed, but now the contradictions can no longer be contained. If mishandled, they could erupt into open confrontation, even armed conflict. Liu Yuan echoed this concern, addressing Hu and Wen. You've experienced the cruelty of party infighting. The current crisis is even more complex. Without early preparation, the outcome will be disastrous. Liu was referring to the 2012 power struggle, when Hu and Wen, then serving as General Secretary and Premier, fought against the attempted coup by Bo Xilai and Zhou Yongkang. Back then, they held the legitimacy of authority. Now, however, Hu Jintao and the military are positioned against the sitting top leader, Xi Jinping, a reversal that leaves their faction without formal legitimacy. To justify this rebellion, Zhang and Hu would need to regain official control of the party, government, and army. Liu's warning was clear. If Xi refuses to yield, Hu must act decisively, even by military force if necessary. Fourth, Zhang said, if Xi refuses to hand over power, senior leaders must have an emergency plan. I've served in the army for decades, I know its limits, but if the situation breaks those limits, even I may be powerless. Please help me prepare for that. He was referring to the military's red line. If Xi resists, such defiance could ignite widespread anger within the ranks, potentially triggering a mutiny beyond anyone's control. Fifth, Zhang concluded, once certain things begin, there's no turning back. Like a boulder rolling down a mountain, we can only try to guide it, but no one can predict where it will stop. At this moment, the authenticity of this report cannot be independently confirmed, but the tone and content are consistent with Zhang Yuxia's character, a hardened general who understands the military's internal pressures. All 5 statements convey a single message. If Xi refuses to step down, the military could lose control, civil war could erupt, and the outcome would be unpredictable. But if Xi remains in power, Zhang Youxia, Wang Yang, and their allies would face annihilation. Hu Jintao reportedly hopes to avoid a public power struggle, preferring to persuade Xi to resign voluntarily and transfer authority through legal procedures behind Zhong Nanhai's closed doors. However, Zhang Youxia pointed out the fatal flaw. This is Xi's unpredictability. If Xi breaks the internal agreement and refuses to step down at the 4th plenary session, what then? Would the military have to physically remove him from the meeting hall? Has Hu Jintao prepared a contingency plan that can reassure the army? Those are the critical questions now confronting the anti-Xi faction. A soldier's dilemma. At this historic crossroads, Zhang Youxia and Lu Yuan face a soldier's truth. Politicians cannot always be trusted. When national stability is at stake, hesitation could lead to chaos or even civil war. To prevent catastrophe, they may have to act independently rather than rely on the old guard. If Hu Jintao clings to the illusion of party unity, Xi could exploit that hesitation and regain control. As the saying goes, circumstances are stronger than men. When survival becomes the top priority, ideals of party loyalty may crumble. For Zhang and Lu, the lesson from the Chenqiao mutiny may offer their only path forward. In 960 CE, as foreign armies advanced and the later Zhou court descended into panic, Commander Zhao Kuangyan was sent to lead the troops. But the generals had already lost faith in the regime. At Chenqiao Post they halted, proclaimed Zhao emperor, and draped him in the imperial robe. Unable to retreat, Zhao accepted his fate and founded the Song dynasty. This Chenqiao mutiny achieved regime change without war or bloodshed, one of the most peaceful coups in Chinese history. In today's China, amid deepening crisis, Zhang Youxia and Lu Yuan might contemplate a similar contingency plan, to act before the 4th plenum, not after. That could mean placing Xi under house arrest, restricting his public appearances, and forcing him to resign on the grounds of health. Xi would then be compelled to submit personnel proposals for standing committee reshuffles, Wang Yang as acting general secretary, Hu Chunhua as premier, and others, to be ratified at the plenary session. If executed swiftly, the 4th plenum could proceed smoothly under new leadership. The question is, will Zhang and Lu be decisive and strong enough to carry out such a plan? According to the Epoch Times, whether in the past or the present, one truth endures: the decisions of soldiers often determine the fate of nations. As China enters an era of turbulence, one question defines this moment. Who will have the courage to act decisively, and who will let history slip away? In the coming weeks, the world will be watching. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. And don't forget to drop this icon in the comments to help us beat the YouTube algorithm. If you found this analysis valuable, please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching. See you next time.